Good morning, everybody. It is Saturday, and we're here. Sweet Talk Saturday, and can you guess who is going to be on our show today? Jupiter Donuts. A little change of scenery here. Good morning. All right, Crystal's going to be joining us any second now. Here we go. Perfect. All right. Hello.
I did it.
It works.
It was a lot easier than I thought.
Yeah, it's very easy, and it's a new way to get the message out there, and
Nice.
it's a fun way to uh, chat with people, and get the word out about all my donut friends and everything that's going on. So,
Yeah.
um, thanks for joining us today on Sweet Talk Saturday.
Thanks for having
It's
me.
it's my pleasure. I'm excited to talk with you this morning about Jupiter Donuts. So, for those of you that don't know, this is Crystal, the head chef, baker, owner extraordinaire of all things Jupiter Donuts. Woman does it all, and that's the sign of a great owner is someone that will roll up their sleeves, and there's nothing that they're doing that you haven't done already. So
Yeah.
um, those of you that are watching now and have seen my feed, I am a big supporter of Jupiter Donuts. I spend a lot of time there, and their donuts are incredible. So um, I'd like to start off with if Crystal, if you can kind of just share your story. How did you get into the donut business, and what's your story behind Jupiter Donuts?
So there's actually a bunch of us. So there's a group of us, a bunch of different owners. We're all family and like really close family friends that have, God, 15, 20 years. My dad's known these guys.
Mm-hmm.
And we've all done food. Our partner in Jupiter, Chris, used to work for a food distributor. So he's known my dad forever.
Mm-hmm.
And he came to us one day and he's like, hey, I want to do something on my own. And my dad's always been an entrepreneur and had businesses. And I mean, donuts, we kind of fell into. It wasn't something that we were, God, we got to do donuts. But,
Uh-huh.
we like food. So,
Yeah.
so Chris and my dad and myself got together and we bought Jupiter Donut Factory in 2013.
Okay.
I believe they were already there for about a year. I'm not totally sure.
Mm-hmm.
We went in, we learned the business with all intentions of opening a different store. So they actually sold us that one. So we're thankful for that.
And that's the one on Center Street in Jupiter, right?
Yes, that's the original. We're going on, gosh, September will be 7 years.
Wow, that's awesome.
It flies
Uh,
by.
I mean, I've been at the donut scene all my life, but Donutbragger has been around since 2014. No,
Nice.
no, I'm sorry, that's wrong. 2017. 3 years. 3 years. 3 years at this, and I remember traveling up to Jupiter,
Mhm.
on Saturdays. I'd be out of the house for like an hour and a half, just going up there, and then Royal Palm opened, and I was like, oh, it's closer.
Yeah.
And then you got me, and you opened up down the street from my
Yeah.
house.
Yeah. That's what
So,
we want. We don't want you guys or any of our customers to have to, take the risk of traveling, an hour
Hmm.
to get somewhere and then not be able to get donuts. We don't like that. It's
Yeah.
depressing. So
And so how many shops are there in total today?
there are, oh my God, 7. Yes, 7. Lantana's the newest.
Okay. And
Yeah.
yeah, Lantana just opened recently.
Yep.
Got to see that shop and see behind the scenes, and make some donuts. That was fun. Um, so what would you say is your favorite donut to make?
Ooh. Um, Gosh, to make. I have a few favorite donuts, but
Okay.
I want to say the birthday cake donut,
Hmm.
just
Okay.
because it reminds me of everything that a kid likes. There's sprinkles and icing, and you can put glitter on there. There's like a Holland cream. You can use buttercream, cream
Uh-huh.
cheese. I don't know. It just, when you bite into it, it reminds me of childhood. So when you dip
Uh-huh.
it, it's kind of the same thing.
And that's Miles' favorite donut at the shop. So
Mm,
that's what he goes for.
smart kid. But
That's the one he goes for. And
it's fun.
yeah. And I saw recently there was a funfetti birthday cake donut. Like
Yes.
the batter was funfetti,
Oh yeah.
which is, fairly new and incredible. So it makes that donut even more over the
It's
top.
over the top now. Yeah. Delicious now. Gosh.
And so to follow up that question, what's your favorite donut to eat?
I really like, it's between two. So if we're out of one, I'll eat the other. The old fashioned glazed, the sour
My
cream old fashioned, and then a Boston cream. Mm,
traditional donuts.
yes. I like
And
the more
that's
traditional.
what, if for those of you that haven't checked out my page, you'll notice that old fashions are like my thing. Like that's my
Mm,
go-to. If my donut's not on the menu, then
yeah.
it's definitely the old fashioned. And recently there was the lemon poppy old fashioned, which
Oh,
is
that's a good one too. I know. And the
that's
chocolate, I can't.
right. I mean, we could talk about old fashions for days. And
I know.
actually there's in July, the second week of July, Greenbush Bakery is going to be on the show out of Wisconsin, and they're old fashioned. They make like a dozen flavored old
Yeah,
fashions. So they do like a cherry old fashioned. That's incredible.
that sounds good.
So for those of you watching, keep watching on Saturdays. We're going to have a lot of fun things and sweet things to talk about. So to transition over to today, where we are today, and the pandemic and COVID and everything that we've been dealing with these last few months, it's put a lot of pressure on business owners,
Yeah.
like yourself, and have to transition to other means of putting your product out there. What are some of the changes and challenges that you've had during this time of COVID?
So it could have been worse for us. We are a primarily takeout business to begin with, so we just pushed the takeout and the curbside.
Hmm.
So if you weren't comfortable coming in, we'll bring them out to you. And then
Hmm.
we picked up 2 delivery services. We're using Uber Eats and DoorDash. That's helped tremendously too for people who are staying inside their house. So
Hmm.
we're thankful for that.
Have you seen business decline since this, or has it kind of stayed kind of steady?
No, it definitely declined.
Yeah.
It went down for a while, and then slowly, as the weeks went on and we picked up delivery, it started going up a little bit more. And now, of course, summer's here.
Yeah.
So, I honestly, it's probably going to be till next year when businesses can fully recover. But
Hmm.
we're hanging on. We haven't had to let anybody go.
which
which
is
we're super
great.
thankful for. Yes.
Yeah.
Everybody's hung in there, and we appreciate all the customers that are supporting us and other.
Yeah, I went to the Boynton shop today and I sent you a message. I mean, the line was
Yeah,
out in the parking lot, which
that's
is
great.
nice to see that.
It is. That means people are getting out, so that's
Yeah,
nice.
yeah, it's definitely nice to see, maintaining social distancing and doing all the things that they should be doing while being out there.
Yeah.
Which last week I had my friend on from Diablo Donuts, and something that he noticed as well is that National Donut Day
Mm,
is always a highlight for me, but it's always a huge day. But for some reason, the people didn't come out and
correct.
it wasn't as crazy. Was it the same for you?
Exactly the same. We were so surprised that it was
Um,
not nearly as busy.
a
So,
lot of donuts left over.
yeah, I mean, but it was good. We donated them to the hospitals and, the police department and fire department and places that were open. So it was nice to unload, like 10, 15 dozen at a hospital.
Yeah,
So,
for all
yeah,
the workers that are
basically,
there. Uh,
yes.
what is that typically what you do with donuts that are left over? No, normally you're sold out by
Yeah.
11 o'clock, but when there are days that you have that are like that you're, you know, in my other business, we forecast based on historical information. So it's
Yes.
the same thing for you. You're like,
Yeah.
okay, we did 100 dozen last National Donut Day. All right, we'll do 105, just a little
Yeah.
bit more so that we can, and then it's like, okay, COVID, thank you very much for
Yeah.
not producing, not allowing people to come out and celebrate.
Yeah.
Um, so where do you normally donate donuts to, like
So
on the regular?
when school is in session, so it's a bunch of different places. We'll bring them to banks, gas station. I mean, literally anywhere that we can take a dozen donuts. And this is before COVID because a
Yeah,
lot more was open.
right.
Restaurants, always police departments, fire departments, banks. Surprise, like banks always, I feel like get the short end of the stick. But where else do we bring them? When school is in session, there are some people who work for schools that will come and pick them up and bring them back to the school at the
Hmm.
end of the day because we do close at 1. But right now we're just kind of unloading them wherever we can,
Yeah.
anything that's open. But we've been doing pretty good where we're trying to, we're not really making too many and we are selling out. And
No, that's good. That's
so,
good to hear.
yeah.
I don't know if you saw last week, I have a really difficult time throwing away donuts.
Yeah.
So I had so many left over during National Donut Day that I made a
Bread
donut
pudding.
bread pudding.
How was it?
It was incredible. Like because it was like I had jelly donuts, I had chocolate, like all different kinds of flavors
Yeah.
that it just mixed really well. I mean, I gave it to neighbors. It
Oh,
was like
nice.
it was really good. So I don't know if you've ever made a donut bread pudding, that you sold at the shop, but it's something that made me think about. It's
Yeah.
a really
I
cool
didn't
concept.
I didn't think that like you would put that like jelly and chocolate and all of them together would be good. It was good.
It
Usually
was
it's glazed.
oh, it was awesome because
Oh, I'm
like you
gonna have
take
to
a
try.
bite, like and then there was blueberry in there too. So
Mhm.
like you take a bite out of it and it was like blueberry and like a little jelly. It
It's the
was it
kitchen
was
sink of bread pudding.
yeah. And then you
Yeah,
just put a scoop of ice. Oh man, it was great.
I did.
And then I had to ride the bike, the Peloton for an hour
Yeah.
just to burn everything off. But
Yes.
so um, something that I just wanted to say to everybody that's on here, and I wanted to thank you and your family and everybody that supports my family. Jupiter Donuts has gone above and beyond when anytime I ask to support JDRF, Juvenile Diabetes Research Foundation, year in and year out. I just want to say thank you again to everyone watching. This family is just incredible. The support that they give to the local community and just for kids charities and things like that. So it says a lot about an organization that gives back. And, I just want to say thank you for that. We really do appreciate everything that you guys do for us.
Oh, thank you for allowing us to, the opportunity. So
Yeah.
we're really thankful. If you have the platform and you're able to do something to help others, you should. So
yeah. And you've made donuts that match the logos. You've made, I mean, everywhere we asked, for your support, you've jumped in, and without hesitation, it says a lot. So thank you for that. We really do appreciate that. So some fun questions that I have for you that I was thinking about last night. So your brother is also, a chef and makes donuts. And,
oh yeah.
Have you ever had a baking competition with your brother?
No.
You haven't.
Sure he would win though. I'm like, I don't like to measure stuff. I'm more of like a cooker. I will, obviously. They try to keep me out of the kitchen making the donuts because I don't like to measure things. So that doesn't turn out well. He would probably win though in that department. He's a little bit more patient than I am.
So you're more on the decorating side?
I prefer that, yes.
Okay.
I like to be a little bit more creative, and like Adam is super good at baking and frying the donuts, and that's more his speed. So
yeah. It's just curious. That was something I was thinking about. I was just like,
I'll give my brother that one.
And talking about measuring, I never knew all of the measuring that goes on when making donuts. It's like to the gram of water.
Yes.
Like, it was, and it has to be a certain temperature water. And I mean,
oh yeah.
You got to be a scientist to do some of this stuff.
And then the humidity, you got to keep the humidity.
It's a lot. Yeah, it's a lot, and it takes a lot of work. I mean, we made a few dozen of the old fashions, and he's like, "Hold on, we got to stop. We got to get the oil temperature down." I was like, "Okay, just put them in."
It's not a quick process either.
No. So, and then you mentioned your dad being involved in the business.
Yes.
Does he make donuts?
He doesn't. No, he's a little older now, so he's more of, I guess you would call it a silent partner.
Okay.
He's like more back office, like that, but he will get out there with the best of them and do it.
Yeah.
We try not to let him, but he would if we would let him.
Something that some of the people watching today may not know is that there's a theme behind Jupiter Donuts in all of the shops. That is, so tell us about the theme of the shops. So
most of the stores, there are two of them that, like, the original is the original. That is like, I mean, that used to be a Wally's Donuts. It was a pizza place. Like, all the original stuff is still there. We're just starting to remodel in there. So, but the theme, we wanted to do like a 50s feel to it with the checkered floor, and the, some stores have chrome, some stores have the teal, and red. We just kind of wanted to give it more of an old school. So when you walk in there, you're like, wow, I've been in a place like this before. Or even the older generation that comes in, like, I used to go to a donut shop back in the day who was similar to this. So we try to go with that, give it like an older vibe.
And the music.
Oh, yes. So because there's only about 10 songs from the 50s, we'd be playing that on a loop, but we try to get that music in there. And then, of course, the girls try to sneak in some of the newer stuff, but we try to do an oldies.
And I hear that if they know that your dad is coming, they make sure that the old music is on, because
100%. Me included. I'm like the worst.
It's one of his things. He's like, it has to be, to be that. Which would you say is your busiest shop?
So the Jupiter location, the original, is the smallest and the busiest store.
Okay.
Their batches are much smaller than ours because their mixer is smaller. So they have to work twice as hard to produce, you know, a certain amount of donuts, and then they, you know, they do the best that they can. They hustle.
And they
It's
make,
tough.
so the cronut, which
Yes.
we'll get into in a little bit here.
Doesn't
Um,
matter.
the cronut at the Jupiter location
It's a different
is
shape.
different shape.
Yes.
What, how come the shape there hasn't made it to the other shops?
So we originally, when the other stores opened, tried that shape. And then we switched over to the round one because
Hmm.
we cut it with the, you know, with the donut cutter. To me, it's easier to decorate. I feel like it's funny because it's the same weight as the smaller cronut, which will look
Uh-huh.
smaller. It's the same weight. So
Yeah.
they're identical in weight. We just feel like this shape is easier to decorate, and it's a choice.
Hmm.
In Jupiter, Chris tried this, and the customers were like, "Oh, we like the other one. It tastes better." So, you know, we're going to go back to that one in that store. So
Yeah,
we want to give the customers what they want.
of course. So are there, is there, does each shop have a baker creator that can go off the cuff and make things on their own, or do you kind of
Yeah.
have them make the same donuts at all the shops?
So we try to keep consistency with the donuts that customers really enjoy, you know, glazed Boston cream, old fashions, but
Yeah.
we definitely like to give each decorator in different shops the opportunity to come up with stuff. Um, you know, the ideas that we have are not me coming up with them, or, you know, Don or Chris or Eli or Donald. It's everybody, all the managers, all the decorators, the bakers, like everybody, counter staff. We all come together as a team to figure out different flavors and what people like and what, you know, is working or isn't working. And then we have our meetings and we communicate with each other during our owner meetings to discuss what's working in one store and maybe not another. But yeah, try to give people free reign for the most part.
Yeah. So what about the baking process? Do you have, like, does each shop have someone making donuts at each of the locations? Do you kind of bring donuts anywhere?
No, every store makes their own. We have fryers and we have a whole baking teams at each location. Most of the locations, the bakers have been working together since the beginning. A lot of our employees are since the beginning, which is really cool.
That's
Because
great.
yeah, it really helps because there's such a good flow. You know, when you work with teams, so you
Yeah.
understand.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, definitely. It definitely makes things easier when you have a cohesive team. And
Yes.
you know, Jasmine at the Boynton location
Yeah.
is just tight ship. Everything rolls,
He's
and
been with us for a while too. So
yeah,
yeah.
just you know, awesome work that she does there. And I'm a little you know, biased to that location because it's kind of like my home shop. But um, so East Boynton,
Yes.
is that shop going to reopen, or
You mean Boca, the Boca location?
yeah, East
It's
Boca, sorry.
okay. Unfortunately, it's not.
Uh-huh.
Bunch of stuff was kind of going on in the plaza, and then it was an empty plaza, and then COVID happened and people were not coming out.
Uh-huh.
It was really tough. So we kind of had to make the decision to close it. There was just
Yeah.
no way we would ever recover.
Right. And that's, you know, and that happened. And, you know, it's something that there are a lot of people that are just, you know, closing up shop. I mean,
I know we talk to them every day. It's really sad to see something that, you know, you put a lot of money, time, and effort into to not work out. But
yeah.
I guess,
Are there any plans for other shops in Florida or other states, or have you been approached by anyone to open up outside of Florida?
of course, always, always. I guess everybody needs a good donut shop. As of now, we don't really have anything in the works. We're just kind of trying to work on what we have internally and recover 100%. And then maybe, you know, next year we'll see what we can do.
Awesome. All right. So we're gonna transition over to talk about the modern day Homer.
Oh
So
yeah.
this was a donut, and she doesn't work for you anymore, but I have to give a little bit of credit. Dava, I
Yes.
believe, she was the first one to create it, and make it. So here is the modern day Homer. It is a cronut. So for those of you, I'm sure most of you know The Simpsons. Homer's donut is a strawberry glaze with sprinkles, regular donut. But we made it more modern day. Where the cronut is something that's come along. I'd say in the last 6-7 years, like it's been the croissant donut. That we kicked it up a notch, and we made it even more, where it's filled with Bavarian cream as well. So it's a very heavy donut, but anybody that's ever had it, it is incredible. And I guess you have to call ahead and order it if you wanted it, right?
Yes.
They're not on they're on the menu, but not on the
Like a
menu.
secret menu.
Secret menu item. Secret menu item. Have to order it, at least the day before, if not 2 days, just to make sure all the ingredients are there. But it's something that it's awesome. I've also done collaborations with Burger Beast.
Oh, nice.
He has a burger blend that he makes, that actually Sunshine Provisions, they created his burger blend. So I made a burger and I used the modern day Homer as the bun. It was a little over the top, but it was awesome.
No such thing.
Yeah, of course. You can never have too much greatness like that.
Yeah.
So I'm just gonna.
Oh.
So good. And consistency. Consistency is, something that when I look at like other donut shops that have multiple locations, it's maintaining the consistency amongst all of them.
It's very difficult.
Right, because it's as I now know, it's science. There's science behind it.
And every store is different.
Right.
Like everybody's water's different. Everybody's interior temperature is different. It's tough.
It's really tough. And I think that, for the most part, I've been to every shop, including Largo.
Oh yeah.
And they've consistent across the board. I always get the old fashioned. That's one I try first, and then I would go to one that people may not think that this is a common donut to go to, but with Jupiter Donuts, it's one that I find that when I go into a new location, I have to try it. Is the Butter Crunch.
Oh yeah.
It's one that you wouldn't think that that's one I would go to, but you don't find that anywhere. I've never seen a Butter Crunch donut at any donut shop. And every time I've tasted at every location, it was consistent. It was great, and it's really hard to do that because I've been to some, not going to name names of shops that I've been to, different locations, West Coast, East Coast, and totally different. Not the same.
It's difficult, yeah. It takes a lot of communication.
Mm-hmm.
A lot, we don't always win. You know what I mean? There are times that nobody's always winning. So there's times that things aren't right, but we try to get on it as quickly as possible to correct it. So.
Or or if it's not right, you make it right.
Yeah, exactly. Yes.
And that's something that, because again, customer service. If something's not right and someone's not happy, what can you do to make them happy? That's kind of Oh, someone wants to see my cup.
Yeah, I know, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Um,
Hi, Rachel. Yeah, Rachel's on here. We had some people from outside of Florida saying, I love coming to Jupiter Donuts when I come into
okay.
town. Let's see if there are any other questions here. Oh, your mom says hi. Um, that's the thing. It's about the family behind Jupiter Donuts. It's everybody that's involved. It's
Yeah.
over the years, we've just become friends. I mean, it's
Hmm.
not, you just pick up the phone if you have a question and, say what's up.
Yeah.
That's kind of the relationship that's built. I mean, your mom's probably one of my biggest fans. Like she's
Yeah.
always liking everything. It's great. um, and, I can't say enough about Jupiter Donuts, and those of you that are watching and watch after this, because we get a lot of watches and views after the show airs. Um, Go to jupiterdonuts.com, check out the locations. If you're in the South Florida or even a little bit further north of Jupiter,
Yeah.
check out one of the shops. Go in, tell them that you saw the story here. We're gonna also do a giveaway
Yeah.
for half a dozen donuts.
Yes.
You'll see a post it's a follow. It's going to be a follow campaign. So you have to follow Jupiter Donuts. Make sure you're following Donutbragger, and then you have to post someone in the comments, a friend, to take a look at the page. So we'll be doing that right after the show, and then we hope to announce the winner on Friday. So you could pick up your donuts for the weekend.
Yeah.
So
Exciting.
is there anything that you'd like to share with with the viewers?
Well, thank you to you, for doing this and highlighting different shops, not just donut shops, because you did that cookie place, and
Yeah,
oh my God, they look amazing. So,
yeah.
um,
It's just changing the topic, right? It's
yeah,
changing what everyone is talking about, making it lighter and sweeter,
yeah,
because all of the stuff that's going on in the world,
I know.
you just got to be nice. You have to be nice to people, and it seems like something that's not hard, to be nice, but a lot of people are struggling,
Yeah,
and that's kind of what the thought process behind this whole Sweet Talk Saturday is, just to change the message that's out there and to lighten up the mood for once, with everything that's going on.
yeah. Well,
So
thank you.
no.
It's like I said. I mean, you're like not just a customer. Like you said, you're a friend now, so that's great. That you're kind of taking a different aspect on how to like shine on donut shops, because before you were going around and posting about it, and now you're not really traveling as much, so
Yeah,
this is
so
another way to do it, and it's
it's
good.
another way to do it, and it's is it next week? Um, I
Father's
think
Day
it might.
weekend.
Yeah, I think it might be next week. We have. Let me just double check my calendar, because that's one of the things. I travel for work, and I haven't been able to travel,
Yeah.
and it's part of like my traveling for regular work is bringing local donuts to my clients that I'm going to visit, and all of the people that I normally see on a monthly basis, they're like, where are you? Like,
Yeah.
what's going on? And it's sad, because I've created these friendships um, that last a lifetime. So yeah, so next weekend, I have the owners of Donut Project in New York.
Oh, nice.
They're based out of New York. They do a lot of collaboration with wines and like
Mhm.
rosé and Chambord, like all these crazy um, collaborations with their donuts, and it's just, that everyone is engaged. It's not just going from donut shop to donut shop, but it's bringing donut shops from around the world to people that may never have seen those posts before.
Oh yeah.
This live environment, like this is totally out of my comfort zone.
Yep. Oh, me too. I was super nervous.
Yeah, I am not like this. If for those of you that watch my stuff, I'd rather have my daughter in the video with me, or my son, talking. Yeah, a little buffer.
Yes.
Because my posts are take a picture of the donut, and focus on the donut, not so much talking. So it's something that is new to me, and I'm starting to enjoy it. It's starting to it's fun, because most of the people that I'm talking to are either someone that I've known for many years now, and it's easy to have a conversation.
Yeah.
It's not like pulling teeth. Okay, so here's Cowboy Matt Brill. I got donuts from your Lake Worth location yesterday. They're the best in Florida.
Oh, thank
you. So I mean, it's like the feedback that people always give about Jupiter Donuts is they're fantastic. They're great. The people that are working there are great. And there's going to be people that are continuing to write messages here, and and want to ask questions. So when I get these questions, I'll send them your way so that we can put the messages out there. But we've just to let everybody know, we had about 60 people watching.
That's not bad.
For a live broadcast. It's not too bad. And people are still joining. It's great. But the thing is that we wanted to spotlight Jupiter Donuts. It's one of our mine and my family's favorite, and we wanted to give you an opportunity to shine. The lady behind all of the donuts. It's a pleasure to always speak with you, and I hope that your family is well, and that we continue to have follow-ups on this, and hopefully next year when we do this again, you'll have 3 or 4 more shops, and
thank you.
things will continue to go well.
Thank you. I appreciate you having me on.
No problem. Have a great weekend, and we'll catch up soon.
All right. Bye.
Bye.